Imagine stepping back from the noise, not as a retreat, but as a powerful act of transformation. This video takes you deep into the heart of silence and solitude, revealing how withdrawing quietly from the world around you isn't weakness, but the birthplace of true strength. You'll meet Noah, a symbol of reinvention, who dared to disconnect from external applause and hollow validation. In the stillness, Noah rebuilt from the inside out, embracing healthy habits and rediscovering an authentic self untouched by society's expectations. We'll explore how silence becomes not just an absence of sound, but a forceful shield protecting your mental and emotional well-being. This withdrawal is a deliberate choice to surround yourself only with those who lift your spirit, while recognizing that walking away from toxic relationships isn't running. It's honoring your own value. Alongside this, we reveal the profound connection between how you present yourself and who you are inside. Caring for your appearance is an unspoken language of self-respect and inner discipline, a reflection of your personal coherence. Through the lenses of Stoicism, this journey strips away the chaos to reveal that meaningful change comes in quiet moments of introspection, guarded boundaries, and mindful communication. You'll discover why sometimes your loudest message is the silence you keep. A silence that prevents conflict, preserves peace, and strengthens self-control. Ultimately, this video challenges you to embrace solitude, not as loneliness, but as the fertile ground where your authentic, unshakable self takes root, and where transformation shocks the world, not with noise, but with undeniable presence. Are you ready to withdraw in silence, transform your appearance, and shock them all with the power of peace and self-mastery? Then stay with me until the end, because the path to true fulfillment begins in quiet revolution. Oh, list structure implied by the title. 1. The power of withdrawing in silence. 2. Embracing solitude as a tool for inner growth. 3. Rebuilding identity away from external validation. Cultivating healthy habits from within. 5. The silent shield, protecting mental and emotional health. 6. Recognizing and removing toxic relationships. 7. The language of appearance, self-respect without words. 8. Discipline in presentation as a reflection of inner strength. 9. Assertive communication and the strength of silence. 10. Living authentically, choosing happiness beyond others' expectations. If these insights into silent strength are resonating with you, take a moment to like this video and consider sharing it with someone navigating their own journey of transformation. Your support helps us share these powerful Stoic lessons with a wider community seeking clarity and inner peace. We've talked about the quiet revolution, about Noah's symbolic journey from external validation to internal strength. We've touched upon the idea that true power isn't found in the clamor, but in the profound stillness of self-discovery. But what does this really look like in the tapestry of our daily lives? How do these whispers of Stoic wisdom translate into tangible, lasting change? Let's delve deeper into each facet of this transformation, peeling back the layers to reveal the practical wisdom beneath. The power of withdrawing in silence, a strategic retreat. The concept of withdrawing in silence is often misunderstood. It's not about retreating from the world in fear or abandoning your responsibilities. Instead, it's a deliberate, strategic act of pulling back, like an archer drawing a bowstring to gather strength and sharpen focus before releasing with greater precision and impact. In our hyper-connected, always-on society, silence has become a luxury, almost an anomaly. Yet, it is within this very absence of external noise that we find the space to hear ourselves, to truly listen to the inner voice, often drowned out by the incessant demands of modern life. Consider the Stoic emphasis on differentiating between what is within our control and what is not. The external world, with its opinions, its demands, its constant chatter, falls largely outside our control. Our inner world, our judgments, our desires, our aversions, is entirely within it. Withdrawing in silence is an act of reclaiming that inner territory. It's an intentional step away from the incessant inputs that bombard our senses and cloud our judgment. It's about creating a personal sanctuary, a mental and emotional fortress, where you can process, reflect, and strategize without external interference. Think of it this way. A calm lake perfectly reflects the sky, while a turbulent one distorts everything. Similarly, a mind in constant commotion struggles to see clearly. By cultivating moments of silence, we allow the ripples of external events to subside, revealing a clearer reflection of our true selves and the path forward. This quiet withdrawal isn't a sign of weakness. It is a profound declaration of self-possession. It's a bold statement that you prioritize your mental and emotional sovereignty over the fleeting allure of constant engagement. It empowers you to choose your responses, rather than merely reacting to the world's dictates. Embracing solitude as a tool for inner growth, the workshop of the soul. Building on the idea of withdrawing, we arrive at solitude, not as a lonely state, but as a fertile ground for profound inner growth. Many fear solitude, mistaking it for loneliness, a void to be filled with distractions. But Stoicism invites us to embrace solitude as a powerful tool, a workshop where the self is honed and polished. It's in these moments of chosen isolation that we encounter ourselves unfiltered, stripped of the roles we play for others. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, urged us to retreat into ourselves, to converse with our own thoughts. He recognized that constant company, even good company, can dilute our resolve and distract us from the essential work of character building. In solitude, there is no audience to impress, no expectations to fulfill other than our own. This absence of external pressure creates a unique environment for honest self-assessment. What are your true values? What anxieties truly plague you? What passions truly animate you? These questions, often obscured by the demands of social interaction, emerge with clarity in the quietude of solitude. Noah, in her journey, understood this intuitively. Her solitude wasn't an escape from people, but an escape to herself. It was in these moments of quiet reflection that she could journal, meditate, or simply sit with her thoughts, observing them without judgment. This practice is akin to a sculptor working on a masterpiece. Each moment of solitude is a careful chisel stroke, shaping the raw material of experience into a refined self. It allows us to distinguish between our authentic desires and the desires implanted by societal pressures. It fosters a deep intimacy with our own mind, building resilience and self-reliance that no external praise or validation can ever match. Solitude, then, becomes a training ground for self-mastery, an essential practice for anyone aspiring to a truly stoic life. Rebuilding identity away from external validation, the unshakable self. One of the most insidious traps of modern life is the relentless pursuit of external validation. Our worth, it seems, is constantly measured by likes, comments, accolades, and the opinions of others. This creates an identity built on shifting sands, perpetually vulnerable to the whims of the crowd. Stoicism, however, offers a powerful antidote, the conviction that our true worth resides not in external achievements or public opinion, but in our character, our virtues, and our rational choices. Noah's story is a testament to this truth. Her reinvention began not by seeking approval, but by disconnecting from it entirely. This radical detachment from external applause allowed her to rebuild her identity from the inside out, based on principles she chose, not standards imposed upon her. When we derive our sense of self from what others think or say about us, we grant them immense power over our emotional state. A positive comment elevates us. A negative one shatters us. This is a precarious way to live. The Stoics taught us that the only thing truly good is virtue. Wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These are internal qualities, entirely within our control. When our identity is anchored in these virtues, external praise or blame loses its sting. We become less concerned with appearing good and more concerned with being good. This isn't a call to indifference towards others, but a call to inner freedom. It means cultivating an inner compass that guides your actions, a compass calibrated by reason and virtue, rather than by the fluctuating winds of public opinion. Rebuilding your identity away from external validation is perhaps the most liberating act you can undertake, for it frees you to live authentically, unbound by the expectations of a world that often doesn't even know its own mind. Cultivating healthy habits from within. Discipline as freedom. The transition from a life driven by external validation to one anchored in internal strength naturally leads to a focus on cultivating healthy habits. But these aren't just about physical well-being. They are foundational elements of Stoic self-mastery. For the Stoics, discipline wasn't about rigid rules imposed from without, but about a rational, deliberate cultivation of practices that align with our highest good and our rational nature. These habits are built not to impress, but to empower. Noah's journey of embracing healthy habits wasn't about fitting a societal ideal of beauty or success. It was about honoring her body and mind as instruments of her rational will. This includes everything from mindful eating and regular exercise to consistent sleep patterns and intellectual engagement. Each choice, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity to practice self-control and demonstrate your commitment to your well-being. Consider the discipline of waking early, as many Stoics advocated. It's not just about getting more done. It's about asserting control over your day from its very inception, rather than letting the day control you. It's about choosing a moment of quiet reflection before the world demands your attention. Similarly, choosing nutritious food isn't just about physical health. It's about temperance, about resisting impulsive cravings in favor of what serves your long-term vitality. The daily practice of these habits, consistently applied, builds mental fortitude. It trains your will to overcome inertia, to choose the difficult but beneficial path over the easy but detrimental one. This internal discipline, exercised daily, becomes a powerful source of inner strength, a silent declaration of your commitment to flourishing, regardless of external circumstances. It's freedom gained through self-imposed order, the silent shield, protecting mental and emotional health. In a world saturated with information, noise, and constant demands, protecting our mental and emotional health has become paramount. The Stoic approach offers a powerful defense mechanism: the silent shield. This shield isn't about ignoring problems or suppressing emotions. It's about building an inner fortress that deflects what is harmful and preserves what is essential for our tranquility. This silent shield manifests in several ways. Firstly, it's the conscious choice to limit exposure to toxic inputs, whether it's negative news cycles, gossip, or conflict-ridden social media. Just as you wouldn't intentionally ingest poison, why would you allow your mind to be polluted by negativity? Secondly, it's the practice of emotional detachment, not as apathy, but as a recognition that many external events are indifferent to our well-being. Our suffering often comes not from the events themselves, but from our judgments about them. By withholding judgment, or by judging rationally, we disarm their power to disturb us. Noah, through her withdrawal, learned to erect this shield. She realized that her peace was a precious resource, not to be squandered on every external drama. This meant consciously choosing where to direct her attention, understanding that attention is the most valuable currency of the mind. Marcus Aurelius famously advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This same principle applies to our mental peace. Waste no more time allowing your mind to be disturbed by what is outside your control. Instead, focus on cultivating your inner calm. The silent shield, therefore, is an active defense, a deliberate cultivation of inner tranquility that allows you to navigate the chaos of the world without being overwhelmed by it. It's the courage to say no to the noise, to protect your inner sanctuary, and to prioritize your mental sovereignty above all else. Recognizing and removing toxic relationships, honoring your value, an inevitable, yet often challenging, aspect of building one's inner fortress and protecting mental health is the recognition and, sometimes, the removal of toxic relationships. The premise rightly states that walking away isn't running, it's honoring your own value. Stoicism, while emphasizing community and shared humanity, also advocates for discernment in our associations. Seneca famously advised choosing companions carefully, for they will either drag you down or lift you up. Toxic relationships are those that drain your energy, undermine your self-worth, or consistently pull you away from your virtuous path. They can be overtly hostile, subtly manipulative, or simply perpetually negative. Identifying them requires honest self-reflection, often undertaken in the very solitude we've discussed. When you are alone, undistracted by the immediate presence of these individuals, you can more clearly assess their impact on your well-being. Do they consistently bring anxiety? Do they diminish your confidence? Do they tempt you towards unvirtuous actions? The courage to remove yourself from such relationships is a profound act of self-respect. It's an application of Stoic wisdom regarding what is within your control. While you cannot control another person's behavior, you can control your proximity to it. This doesn't mean you must abandon all empathy or compassion. It means understanding that your primary duty is to cultivate your own character and maintain your inner peace. Sometimes the most compassionate act for both parties is to create space. Noah learned that some relationships, no matter how long-standing, were simply not conducive to her growth. Her withdrawal gave her the clarity to see this, and her newfound inner strength gave her the resolve to act. This isn't about judgment of others, but about self-preservation and self-optimization. It's about consciously choosing to surround yourself with individuals who embody virtue, who inspire you, and who contribute positively to your journey. Recognizing that true connection enriches, it does not deplete. In doing so, you are not being selfish. You are upholding your fundamental right to a life lived with integrity and peace. The language of appearance. Self-respect without words. Moving from the internal to how it manifests externally. We arrive at a fascinating, often overlooked aspect of Stoic self-mastery. The language of appearance. The premise wisely notes the profound connection between how you present yourself and who you are inside. This isn't about vanity or chasing fleeting fashion trends. It's about acknowledging that your outward presentation is an unspoken language, a reflection of your inner coherence, discipline, and self-respect. The Stoics were not ascetic in the sense of neglecting their bodies or presentation. While they rejected extravagance and ostentation, they valued order, cleanliness, and appropriateness. A well-groomed appearance, neat clothing, and a composed demeanor were seen not as superficialities, but as outward signs of an ordered mind and a disciplined character. When you care for your appearance, you are, in essence, telling yourself and the world that you are worth caring for. It's a non-verbal affirmation of your own value and a demonstration of your capacity for self-management. Think about it. If you neglect your physical appearance, allowing yourself to become disheveled or indifferent, it can often be a symptom of internal disarray. Conversely, the act of intentionally presenting yourself with care and respect can reinforce positive internal states. It's a form of internal feedback loop. When you look composed, you often feel more composed. When you dress with intention, you move through the world with greater intentionality. This practice aligns with the Stoic emphasis on living according to nature, which includes respecting the physical vessel that houses your rational mind. Noah understood that her transformation wasn't just internal. It had to manifest externally as well. Her renewed care for her appearance wasn't for others' approval, but as an integral part of her self-respect, a silent declaration of her journey toward coherence and self-mastery. Discipline in presentation as a reflection of inner strength, coherence of being. Building on the previous point, the discipline in presentation becomes a powerful, yet silent, reflection of inner strength. It's not about expensive clothes or elaborate hairstyles, but about the intentionality behind your choices. It reflects temperance, an aspect of virtue that the Stoics highly valued. Temperance in dress means choosing what is appropriate, clean, and functional, rather than what is flashy or attention-seeking. It's about modesty without slovenliness, care without vanity. This discipline extends beyond mere clothing to your posture, your gait, your overall demeanor. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, when your movements are deliberate rather than fidgety, when your expression is calm and composed, you communicate a powerful message of inner peace and self-control. These are external manifestations of an internal state. A person who has mastered their inner world, who is not tossed about by every emotional wave, naturally projects an aura of stability and strength. Consider Epictetus's teachings on impressions. We receive impressions from the world, and our judgments about them are what truly matter. Similarly, we project impressions onto the world. While we shouldn't seek to control others' perceptions, we should ensure that our outward presentation is coherent with our inner commitment to virtue and reason. When you embody discipline in your presentation, you are reinforcing your own inner discipline. It's a continuous practice of self-respect that grounds you and quietly commands respect from others, not through boastfulness, but through undeniable presence. It's a testament to the fact that you are the master of your own being, inside and out. Assertive communication and the strength of silence. Speaking with intent. We've explored the power of withdrawing in silence. But silence also plays a crucial role in communication itself. In a world that often rewards the loudest voice or the quickest retort, the Stoic approach to communication is one of deliberate thought and strategic silence. Assertive communication is not about aggression or dominance. It's about expressing your needs, boundaries, and opinions clearly and respectfully, without violating the rights of others or allowing your own to be violated. And often, the most assertive tool in your arsenal is silence. How can silence be assertive? Firstly, by creating space for thought. Instead of reacting impulsively to a provocation or an aggressive statement, a moment of silence allows you to process, to apply reason, and to formulate a response that aligns with your values. This prevents you from being manipulated into an emotional reaction that you might later regret. As Seneca suggested, the bravest are surely those who have the clearest vision of what is before them, glory and danger alike, and yet notwithstanding, go out to meet it. Applied to communication, this means seeing the emotional traps and choosing a rational path. Secondly, silence can be a powerful boundary. When faced with incessant negativity, gossip, or outright disrespect, sometimes the most profound response is no response at all. By withholding your engagement, you refuse to grant power to the negativity. You are silently asserting that this conversation, this behavior, is not worthy of your energy or attention. This is not passive aggression, it is active disengagement from what is detrimental to your peace. Noah, having cultivated her inner strength, learned to use her voice with intention and her silence with purpose. She discovered that a thoughtful pause can convey more gravitas than a stream of words. She understood that choosing not to engage in trivial arguments or to defend herself against baseless accusations was often the most powerful form of self-defense. This mastery of communication, embracing both deliberate speech and strategic silence, demonstrates a profound level of self-control. It allows you to protect your inner peace, prevent unnecessary conflict, and ensure that when you do speak, your words carry the weight of reasoned conviction. Living authentically, choosing happiness beyond others' expectations. Finally, all these threads converge into the ultimate goal of Stoic philosophy: living authentically, cultivating inner happiness, eudaimonia, and flourishing regardless of external circumstances. This is the freedom that comes from choosing your own path, guided by your inner compass of virtue, rather than being swayed by the ever-changing currents of others' expectations. The journey of withdrawing in silence, embracing solitude, rebuilding identity, cultivating habits, protecting your mental space, discerning relationships, and mastering your appearance and communication. All these practices are interwoven into a life lived with integrity. When you consciously choose to align your actions with your deepest values, when you prioritize inner peace over external acclaim, you begin to experience a profound sense of fulfillment that is truly unshakable. This authentic happiness isn't a fleeting pleasure. It's a deep contentment that arises from knowing you are living well, living in accordance with reason and virtue. It's the freedom from the frantic chase for approval, from the anxiety of not measuring up, from the constant comparison to others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. The power to revoke that estimate, to choose your own interpretation, to define your own happiness. That is the ultimate liberation. Noah's transformation, a symbol of what's possible for each of us, shows that when you stop trying to shock the world with noise, with grand gestures designed for applause, you begin to shock them with something far more potent. Your undeniable presence, your quiet strength, your serene independence. You become a living testament to the power of a mind at peace, a soul in harmony with itself. This is not about conforming to a new set of rules. It's about shedding the old ones that never truly served you. It's about discovering the profound, quiet joy of being truly yourself. So, are you ready to embrace this quiet revolution? Are you prepared to step back, to listen to the whispers of your own wisdom, and to build an unshakable self that operates not on the world's terms, but on its own? The path to true fulfillment begins not with a roar, but with a silent, resolute commitment to self-mastery. What aspect of this quiet revolution resonates most deeply with you today? What small step will you take to cultivate your own inner peace and transform your presence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this video has inspired you, please consider subscribing to the channel for more insights into living a life of purpose and tranquility. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and cultivate your silence.